It's mid-March and we have finally gotten a glimpse of the Barbie Basics You Create dolls that were showcased during the revealed event, which I already did a reaction video to. So if you want to see that, make sure you go ahead and watch it after this. While I was filming my videos for the Barbie Basics dolls that I am doing like an ongoing review of as I'm restyling them, just a few things kept popping up into my head that was a little bit bugging me about the way that they release these dolls, and I just wanted to talk about it with you guys because I'm just like, am I the only one? Am I the only one? I mean, I don't know. I'm a little bit of a cynic, I guess, when it comes to Mattel. I don't trust them. So I'm just noticing some things. So this lady here, Felicia, go ahead and follow her Instagram. I'll put it up here on the screen because some people were trying to figure out who she was so they could go check out her collection. This is one of the things that me and my dolly friends were talking about over on Timothy's Toy Therapy channel. Go ahead and check him out as well. And we were just chatting it up, you know, talking about how this whole thing went. We were concerned as to why they picked Felicia to do this segment. Now, don't get it twisted. Felicia is part of our Dollyverse. She's one of our lovely collectors. However, she says in this video stream that she is an inbox doll collector. And based on what they showed, like the clip of her dolls, I think she's strictly an inbox collector. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but for the most part, she doesn't consider herself much of a customizer. So here Carlisle is explaining to her that she's going to be the first person to see these dolls. Then they're going to do this little revealing thing where they're like, oh, ta-da, right? So Timothy and the viewers that were chatting with him and I over there on his channel, we were just trying to figure out, like, why did they pick somebody who's not a customizer to reveal these dolls to first, when the whole point of the dolls is supposed to be customizing? Like, how does that make any sense? And then you'll see as she reacts to the dolls why I'm saying that that's a little bit concerning, because I just feel like with this line, especially since it's supposed to be made for people who like to customize and modify, you know, the reaction that she gave, I felt like was not as big as it could have been if she was somebody who likes to customize her dolls. Real quick, let me see if I can play the sound clip here of Carlisle asking her about what she thinks.
Felicia, you mostly keep your dolls in the box, right? But this is the kind of product that you want to take out of the box and play and customize. Do you think when you add this to your collection, you'll take these out of the box?
Okay, so I'll probably have one that I take out of the box.
Okay,
That's fun.
of course.
But
One pristine.
right.
Yeah.
Untouched, in the box, on display.
Okay, that is amazing.
Did y'all hear what he asked her? He asked her, are you planning to take these out of the box even though you normally keep your dolls in box? And she said maybe one. If you look at the box design, this is not really designed in such a way where you can even keep your dolls on display inside of the box. It looks like a little closet, like a little wardrobe, and everything is very dark, and you see even with the dolls in the box, you can't actually see them clearly. So even if you were to want to keep them on display, that will be very difficult to do. She said that she would take one out and mess around with it, but the rest of them she would want to keep pristine. So like, like that's not the expected response that I would be looking for someone who is supposed to be a target audience member for these dolls. And then here's another thing that I heard her say that was a little bit shock horror. Look at Carlisle's face. Carlisle looked like, did we make a mistake? I'm just saying. Okay, hold on. Let me get to that part.
Is there a part of the customization that you would say you're most excited about? Like the wigs, the fashion styling, the accessories, or all of it?
Honestly, all of it. But I'm really into the hair. I like all the different options. Outfits are fire. So many cute designs. And I also have a great appreciation for the shoes. The details on these shoes, like how it's all bunched together here, and yeah, the thigh high boots, love it.
Y'all, I don't know how much truth there is to this. Okay, this is Timothy's theory that I'm just regurgitating over here. But he suggested that the reason why this woman said that she liked the wigs the best was because they paid her to say it. Oh my gosh. I mean, I didn't want to believe it, but I'm just saying, like, the first thing that stood out to you was the wigs. Even people who love customizing and really are hyped about these dolls can't stand the wigs. Like, that's like the last thing that they like about the dolls. Everything else stands out more to the average customizer, like the unique face sculpts that you're going to be getting, the cute outfit pieces that you can mix and match, the different body types on made-to-move bodies that can be interchanged. Like, these are the things that most customizers are going to mention first, and then maybe they'll say, we could work with the wigs, I guess we'll try. But like the first thing she said was like, the hair. What is going on, you guys? Oh my gosh. Just these things kind of bothered me. It was like a lingering discomfort about the way that they presented these dolls in this event that just had me like, Mattel, what is y'all doing? But I didn't mention it when I first did my reaction to this revealed event because I was just trying to focus on the things that jumped out at me that I really liked about the collection. Now, don't get me twisted, I did end up ordering kit number 1. The reason why I chose this kit was because each of the face sculpts looked appealing to me, and I felt like they all had traits that I could utilize in my collection that will make my collection look very different. I love this medium brown skin tone as well. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but the wigs that these dolls come with, I felt were the most realistic looking hairstyles that I could work into an everyday look if I had to be stuck with the wigs. Now, people have been asking me if I am interested in getting any of the other kits, and to be honest, I don't know. There's things about the other kits that don't really appeal to me right now. For example, with kit number 2, clearly I don't like any of the wigs that they come with. The face molds I think are very beautiful, but something about them is slightly uncanny to me. They almost look like alien girls or like androids who are trying to blend in with humans. That doesn't mean that they're ugly. They're very beautiful, but in like a real uncanny robotic kind of a way. Not sure if I'm making sense here, but especially with the wigs, it just comes off looking very artificial for me. The eye colors, the bright makeup, it just is a little bit unsettling. So I'm not sure about these girls just yet. And the clothing pieces, the only thing I really liked was the flared out pants. So everything else just seemed a little exaggerated and not like something I would probably use a whole lot of in my collection day to day. So I just want to hold off on these ones until I see some other people reviewing this kit to see if there's something about it that really I feel like I'm missing if I don't have in my collection, or if the wigs are really not as bad as these pictures make them look like they are. The way these dolls were presented at the revealed event, they look really cool. Seeing them all together like this really makes them feel like, you know, if you don't have them all, it's gonna be like you're missing something, because they just complement one another so well. And of course, I've seen people in my comments saying that they bought all 3 kits literally just for the clothes. All the parts that they don't like, they're gonna end up reselling. I don't know, I guess there's different things about these kits that really appeal to people, minus the wigs. Please stop. You lying if you say I bought all 3 so I could get all the wigs. Like, stop it. Other than that, the body donor capability, the face sculpts being brand new, having a blank slate to work with if you want to do rooting, and having all of these new clothing and accessory pieces, I think these are probably the major reasons why these dolls are appealing to people. Now, I'm also seeing people who are just totally turned off by these dolls. They think that they're a complete waste. Nothing about them is appealing to them. They don't like them at all. I can appreciate that there are people who are just not into these dolls. I think this is one of those things where it has to kind of grow on you because it's such a new concept. Not mixing and matching, but especially with the hair, the wigs coming off the head like this, having monochromatic looks without a bunch of prints and colors and kooky crazy styles going on. This is very new for Mattel in this modern age to be making dolls like this, totally like normalizing it as soon as it comes out, because we haven't really seen this done before. Of course, us customizers, we do this all the time. This is just part of our usual habits when we're enjoying our dolls. And they was calling us crazy, you guys. People were shaming us for doing head swaps, body swaps, changing up our doll's hair, like rerouting them. You know, doing anything to alter the doll was being treated as if it was somehow ruining the dolls and dropping their value. So I find it hilarious that Mattel, Barbie's creator, is actually making a line of dolls where not only are they acknowledging that this is fine to do, but also encouraging it by making the dolls specifically for people who like to do all of this swapping and Frankensteining with their dolls. You know, it's like we kind of got the last laugh. I just find this very interesting, and I was looking over on Reddit where people were also sharing some of their thoughts about this line, because I think people are bringing up some interesting points. Like this person here, Hello Mimi, said, I do kind of wish there was a more a la carte option where I could just choose the pieces I want instead of a big kit with $3 worth of stuff. I'm not sure I can justify the cost of these sets to myself. Certainly not more than one. My main purpose in buying these will be to build a mini-me, and I really only need one body for that. This is interesting because this sentiment I've seen so many times recurring in my own comment section as we've been discussing this doll line. People saying that they wish that everything came separately. Give us separate bodies with no head. Give us heads with no bodies. Make sure that the heads are already rooted, and even like the same face sculpts with multiple colors of different like hair color and texture choices. Give us the fashion packs totally separate, and let us choose which pieces and parts we want to put together to create our own kits, kind of, which is a brilliant idea, of course. But as far as executing that from Mattel's standpoint, I see where there will be a lot of limitations. Or I mean, could it be like, okay, let's say you purchase a kit, it's $100, and they let you put into your cart to make up the different parts of the kit. Like you can choose the 3 sculpts you want. They don't all have to be the same skin tone. You can choose the 3 bodies you want. They don't all have to be different body types or skin tones. And you can choose the variants of the clothing pieces that you want. I guess most of them, the average was about 6 clothing pieces and 3 pairs of shoes. So like, could you do it like that and just add them piece by piece into your cart, and that's your kit? Like, that would be so dope. I don't think it's impossible to do. It's just like it would take so much more coordinating to get it right, because if you do a very specific order like this and they put the wrong head inside your kit or the wrong shoe inside your kit, and you waited all this time for them to pack it all together and ship it to you, like, is you about to send the whole kit back for an exchange because one thing was wrong in there? How does that work? It's just from a marketing standpoint, a logistics standpoint, it seems like it would be a big giant headache, and Mattel can barely keep up as it is, you know? So I don't know if I would trust Mattel to be able to execute this right. I know once upon a time they used to have this thing where you could like create or build a character on their website, and they give you some options and choices of things you can slap together to make your own unique doll. But this was, I feel like, when customer service was a little bit better at Mattel and their quality control was much better. So now that they're in this, you know, slap it together hustle fever era that we're in, I don't know. I don't know if I trust them to do all of that. You know what I'm saying? Here's another person who said, I saw here and on the Instagram that the new Basics heads and all the previous MTM bodies are incompatible in diameter. The Basics head holes are smaller. So for some, it'll be a letdown, and for others, it's a new era. For me at this point, all the new MTM bodies will be useless as a base for fashionistas or dolls like holiday birthday wishes or ballet wishes. I'm starting to doubt that Mattel listens to what Barbie fans want, or rather it does, but with a plot twist. And ironically, this person responded, really? I watched the review someone here posted where the host was reviewing the new Barbie Basics dolls, swapped an old head on the new body just fine. It's just that the neck peg is smaller now to allow easier swaps. And then they linked, welcome to Broken Dolly TV. I'm my video. where I did do that. So make sure you go and watch this video and all of my previous videos on these dolls if you want more information on them and these neck pegs. Now this person responded saying, did the YouTube reviewer try putting a new head on an old body too? This is why this makes no sense though. If the new neck peg fits on old heads, then of course the new heads are gonna fit on the old bodies. You know what I mean? I get what they're trying to say, but that old head that I put onto the new body had the same hole, which worked fine on its old body that had the bigger peg. So it's like, I don't think they really understand. I don't think they understand the dynamics of how this whole thing works. In response to that, let me just say, these pegs work fine with most Barbie doll heads as long as the hole size is the same, which a lot of dolls do have the same hole size. Now, sometimes you're gonna run into a few heads here and there that have a slightly bigger hole size, and this is why I showed you guys how to modify your own doll's neck pegs to accommodate the bigger holes so that you can still swap your doll's heads on easily without needing these specific dolls neck pegs to do that. And we do have a few tried and true old hacks that people have been using to cure wobbly head syndrome, which is just tying some rubber bands around the neck peg right under the base, and or stuffing the doll's head with some tissue or something so that it's not so much space in there, and then you put the head onto the bodies, it will stop wobbling. There's ways to do this, but of course, like I said, if you're not a customizer, you know, all the stuff sounds like it's too much. But us customizers, we take matters into our own hands, so that doesn't really, you know, stop us from doing anything. So like this person, All Colors Stop Barbie, is saying, I bought one of the new basics and was able to pull the head off easily. And then I took another head that I found while tidying up and stuck it on to see how it worked. It did work, and I could get the other head off again, all without heating the heads. The other head was firmly in place, didn't wobble, and could be removed again. So myth busted. A lot of people are wondering if these neck pegs are interchangeable with all of the other dolls that we've already got in our collections, and for the most part, yes, they are. If that alone is the reason why you're like, I'm not with this gimmick with the head swapping, I mean, to each his own. If you just want to torment yourself by continually heating heads in order to pop your doll's heads on and off, then have at it. Nobody's stopping you from doing it, but don't be mad at the other people who are like, we don't want to do that no more. That's whack. Here's another thing. People have been asking me, what is the point of swapping heads or being able to pull heads off easily if you've already done your body swap and like that's it, your doll is on the body that you want her to be on? Well, let me tell you, you don't have to necessarily take the head off to swap the head completely with another doll. This Claudette Barbie that they're showing here, what I ended up doing with mine was I actually had two heads, right? And I've got a floating head because I used her body for a donor. With the floating head, instead of just throwing it into my stash like I normally would do, I experimented by changing the hair texture of that doll, right? Once I changed the hair texture, she looked like the same girl but with a new hairstyle. So like these guys are doing here, they're about to show you, they're just gonna swap the heads onto the other doll, and now it looks like she's got a whole completed look with a new hairstyle, and it's just easy peasy. So that's what I'm doing with my Claudette as well. And it's so convenient being able to do this, so I can quickly take pictures and do photo shoots or whatever, or just to restyle the doll to put her on display. I don't have to spend so much time manipulating one doll's hair because I want it to have a straighter hair texture today, but tomorrow I want her to go back to her curly hairstyle. Like, I don't want to keep having to manipulate the doll's hair with heat in order to change the hair texture up. So for me, something like that is so convenient to be able to do. And then another reason why I'm finding myself pulling off heads more often now is that it just makes it so much faster and easier to redress the doll. There's pieces in my doll closet that I have not been able to use in ages just because of the inconvenience of getting it onto the doll's body. Like those hoodies that don't have any closures. I have to lift the doll's arms up a certain way and prop it over the doll's head a certain way. It's so aggravating. Being able to just pop these girls' heads off, they are having so much fun getting use out of all kinds of hoodies and stretchy pieces that I have not bothered with putting on my other dolls because I can't deal with it. And the same goes for like necklaces and chains that go around the neck that don't have any opening or closures. It's just like one whole closed up piece. those kinds of pieces are so beautiful and well made in my collection, but I get no use out of them because I ain't about to pop off a doll's head every time I want to switch this necklace piece onto other dolls. So once I put it on a doll, it just stays on that one doll and she can't have any other accessories around her neck because I just don't want to be bothered. But with this technique, I can do this more prevalently, so it's just so much more convenient to be able to pop the heads off. The next thing I'm looking for is the easy pop off wrist, because that's another thing that I have to struggle with, especially on my made to move dolls. When I'm trying to dress them, sometimes their fingers will get caught in the fabrics or like the hemline of the sleeves of their clothes. I want to be able to pop them off Monster High style, Integrity Toy style. Like, it's about that time. It's 2025. We are in a new era. We need upgrades. We don't play with our Barbies the same way we used to back in the 60s. If they're gonna upgrade everything else, like the fashions, the head molds, the hair textures, even the skin tones and body types, then I think they should absolutely incorporate upgrading the mechanisms of these limbs so that they can compete with other collector doll lines like Integrity Toys. Now granted, Integrity Toys doll heads are a lot harder to take off because they're super hard, but I'm just saying, like, the limbs, you can take their hands off and their feet off in order to dress the dolls. Mattel, come on, you're like competing with these people, at least for the adult collector's attention. So I don't see what's wrong with that. I don't see that as being too demanding. Okay, now when I receive my kit, which is these three girls here that they're showing on the screen, kit number 1, I will be certain to show you guys every single detail that I can squeeze out of these dolls so that you can be very informed and notified on what to expect, what you're getting for your $100, because I highly doubt that the price is going to come down anytime soon. There's of course people who are very much distraught at the price point of these dolls too. And I was just saying to one of my viewers in the comments, like, Mattel, y'all think y'all slick? They produced the 5 basics dolls that they introduced first with reused head sculpts, and then they trying to fool us to spend $100 a pop to get these dolls that have new head sculpts. Excuse y'all. Like, are they gonna hold off on producing any individual dolls with these same head sculpts until they run this dry, until they get as many sales as they think they can get out of these dolls? I don't know, but it's a little bit of a concern to me. On a side note, I just want to say, if you're looking for the AALIYAH Barbie still, somebody told me that they were able to order her on Target's website directly. On my Target site, I don't see her listed. Available for shipping? No. Delivery? Same day delivery. Oh, really? Boo. We don't have pickup available here. But that's just me in my local area. Someone said they were able to like have her shipped to their doorstep, so that's kind of cool. I would say go and check just in case. You never know. And now that Black History Month is over, I also noticed over on eBay, look at this. The buy it now options, the prices are a lot lower than they were when this doll was first launched. Remember when it was like $150 plus $200? Didn't I tell you guys that the prices were gonna come down? A lot of these are averaging at less than twice the price, which is still a bit much, but if she's not available in the stores and this is your only option, then these are much better prices that I think is a lot more worth waiting for than if you had bought her at the beginning of the month or during the launch window and spent 3 and 4 times, even more for some people, than what this doll is actually worth. Just make sure you're comparing the prices, but look at how much lower the prices are, you guys. I'm trying to tell you, stick with me, kid, and you gonna be just fine. They're still like randomly showing up in stores. I still would say keep an eye out. Go to your local Target stores. Go and ask the people who work there to check the back rooms just in case they're still not out on the shelves. You just never know. Everybody's region is different, so the stores are going to have different things available. Keep dropping it in the comments if you're able to find this doll at a retail location for retail price, which is about $55, how you acquired the doll so that other people can see your comments and find some motivation on how they can strategize to get their hands on this doll as well. If I hear any other news that's more concrete, then I will be sure to share that with you guys. In the meantime, I am still doing a series of videos over here exploring the Barbie Basics dolls. I just dropped one before this upload where I swapped out their dresses with each other and dressed them up with some accessories to see what kind of looks we could get if, you're starting your collection off with just these 5 dolls and you have very little in your doll stash when it comes to clothing options and accessory options. So we tried to explore those looks and changed up their hairstyles a little bit. Coming up, I'm going to be showing you all 5 of these dolls redressed completely in brand new clothing that I haven't tried on any other dolls yet. I just did a little shopping haul from Temu to explore the website and see if I like the products. I've never shopped there before, so I ended up trying on these clothes on the dolls, and I'll show you the results of that coming up. And then we're also going to be doing an exploration of the Barbie Basics dolls individually being compared to some other dolls that I already have in my collection that are similar. Stay tuned, make sure you're subscribed. Don't hesitate to leave me any questions or requests in the comment section if there's something specific about these dolls that you would like to know. I'd also like to thank all you lovely pretty people who have already been going over and clicking on my product links that are found in the description box in order to purchase these Barbie Basics dolls to add to your own collection. I do receive a tiny little commission every time somebody uses those links, so I really appreciate you guys for supporting the channel at no extra cost to you. Thanks for helping me out, for helping you out. I'll see you guys in the next one. My name's Gypsy. This is Broken Dolly TV, and until we meet again, have a dolly day.